Hey, guess what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday Cigar Talk. I'm excited to be back. We're still in season 2. My name is Brent Attaway, if we have not met, and we sit out on the back porch and smoke stogies, cigars, whatever you want to smoke, or smoke nothing at all. That's totally fine. It's your choice to be on a show called Cigar Talk, right? So many of you have been on this before. I just want to invite you to join in. Here's how the rules work. You go ahead and join with on screen, and I'll actually invite you on screen, and we just talk and network back and forth. Anything goes are the rules. But how you can join us or just listen live just like this, and you can comment and banter with us back and forth while you're out with the family and it's boring. Don't tell my wife I said that. Christy, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But yeah, that is what happens. People join us from anywhere, whether it's at dinner or whether they're just chilling by themselves. Kids are out of town, wife's out of town, or if you're young and you have neither of those things, or old or have neither of those things, come join us. That's even no excuses for you. We talk business, we banter back and forth, we have fun. That's it. The rules are there are no rules. It's not like we have any actual agenda besides network, build new friends, build new relationships, share what's going on in each other's worlds. So I'll bring you on. I can bring on up to 8 or 9 people on here. I forget. And then from there, we all just sit here and talk back and forth. If you're annoying and you just keep talking over everybody, I'll just kick you off. So no worries. If you're not annoying, that's fantastic. Keep in mind, anybody on here, you want to present yourself decent and be yourself, but don't be a weirdo. Okay. One, it's not good for your good for business, and 2, I don't like that. So you will get kicked off if you're just constantly over talking people, too loud, talking more than everybody, especially if you're talking more than me, because I talk way too much, right? But I just mean, if it's not, let me be frank, it's not your show, don't make it your show, okay? But also, this is not about me. So I try not to talk the whole time. What we'll do is just banter back and forth. So go ahead. I'm going to put a link in the comments. You may be watching this usually on Facebook. That's the most my personal page, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. That's where we stream live. I will put a link in the comments right now, and you're going to go grab that link if you want to join us live. Okay, so you can join me live. We can talk back and forth. How it goes is usually we'll chat back and forth, and it might be 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just me and one other person. And then another person jumps on, and then another, and then it just kind of builds up, and we have 8 or 9 people on here talking and having fun and sharing ideas. So again, comment if you want me to, like, if you're not seeing the link or whatever, and I'll post it again, but I'll post the link right now. I'll also, for some reason, some people will see it on my personal page. I'll just post it on my personal page as well. So if you see it there, that might be helpful. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hopefully my internet stays good. It's telling me I had an issue, but I think we're good. All right. There we go. All right. I'm going to post a link, guys, so you can come jump in if you'd like. Copy. Private chat. Not private chat, just comments. All paste. All right. I just put the link right there. Yep. You should see the link on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. Click that link. You'll come backstage. If you're going to be on here, have your camera on, at least to say hi for a minute. I get that if you need to bounce back and forth on and off camera, but come on here and say hi. All right. I'm also going to be posting down here. Jake. Wonder if Jake's going to jump in here. Jake Hess, I see you liked something. Come jump in real quick. Say hi. Mr. Jake Hess. If you're gonna join us, see if you can bring somebody else along. What's up, Brenda? I literally just scrolled past your name on Facebook, Brenda. Like I saw it, like one of your not your name, your posts. That's hilarious. That's freaky. Brenda, if you guys don't know who Brenda Moosekill, Brenda Moosekill, she is, you probably do know her from a SolarCon, anyone in solar, but I met her through her husband, Joe Moose. We call him Joe Moose. But he's one of the co-founders of SolarCon. And then Brenda works with SolarCon. Scott, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Scott, the solar guy. For anybody watching that's not in solar, this show is not for solar, but we talk a lot about solar because there's just so many people in our network around solar. What's cool about solar is it's a home service. So if you are in home services and business, it's the same damn stuff over and over again. Just to be clear, we all sell the same things. We market, we get leads, we convert them to interested buyers. We're qualifying them as homeowners. All of our audiences are this, like we target homeowners. All of us do. We usually, some of us, we don't mind if they're homeowners or renters. It depends. And then from there, we do the same thing over and over again, right, guys? So whether you're in solar, whether you're in landscaping, roofing, anything home services, it all applies to us and we all learn from each other. What's cool about cross learning across markets is many times, like somebody in landscaping, for example, finds something really cool out, and for a year or two, they just own it. They're in this channel and like generating leads and sales and doing their customers are really good. And nobody else knows about it that well. And the landscaping industry is talking about it and all them are networking. And then suddenly solar finds out about it. It's like, oh, why haven't we been doing that? So it's cool to network across channels. Jake, you don't see the link in the comments? Okay, I'll text it to you. I will text it to you, sir. I'm looking down and I see that you already text me. So thank you. That is not the right text. Let's see. That's weird that the link didn't show up. I'm sorry. Link in the comments. I'll try to do it again in the comments for everybody. Oh, crap. Jake. Oh, my phone's not. There you are. I don't know if this is going to get to you, Jake. We're about to find out. Okay, good. I was just making sure my phone wasn't syncing over. You should get the link in your text there, Jake. Let's see. Anybody else want to join? I'm going to post the link again. Let's see in the comments. That's where you should find it. I'm going to post it one at a time. Join on stage here. Let's see if it does better. It says nothing has been created on Facebook Live yet, guys. That's weird. Okay, that's weird, Jake. Are you on Facebook or are you on YouTube or LinkedIn?
I was on Facebook.
Okay, because it just told me it's not letting me post a link. So hold on 1 second. Let me try it a different one. That might be why. Huh. It thinks that I'm not on Facebook. I'm on StreamYard. So anyways, Jake does not have a beanie or a jacket because he's in San Diego.
It's chilly here.
It's not. I mean, I get it. Yes, I've lived there, but it's not. In Florida is not exactly that chilly. But tonight, dude, it dropped. We're at like 42 degrees. So I'm like, jacket, beanie. I got a blanket around me. My hands are cold. I got a heat. Yeah.
Go inside, dude. What are you doing?
Heck no, we got to smoke a cigar.
Oh, that's right.
Dude, I do it. I actually do this almost every night, so I'm used to it. It's just kind of fun.
I talked to my buddy Jason Castellano. He said he came on here and did this with you, and he had a good time.
Yeah, and he just barely. Did you just talk to him recently? Just barely?
Yeah, about maybe 4 hours ago.
Yeah,
maybe less.
Well, he didn't. You mean he came on here like months ago or whenever?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, he wasn't on here tonight.
No, I thought it was like last week. I could be wrong.
or a month ago or so, whenever we did it last. But he just barely texted me about the. Oh, dude, there's the cue. There's the cue. Watch this, guys. The banner at the bottom. I got announcements prepared tonight. CRMX 2.0, Solar 2.0, like the Solar edition of CRMX. We just launched that. If you want to get involved, Jason, I'll just call him out and said he reached out to me and said he's interested. But Jason's a cool guy. Maybe I should announce that. But yeah, I'm just looking for 3 solar dealers to work with to really. We're gonna release CRMX 2.0 for Solar Edition. Like I'm calling it 2.0 because that's what CRMX was launched on. Is let's call it 1.0. And then it's been 2 years, and we've always been improving it. Don't get me wrong, but we're really going to revamp and change out all of the follow up even more, and using AI a lot more. Like AI is already built in, but now it's going to be built in for solar. So you would have had to train the bots yourself. Well, we'll give you all the training for solar. So it's just like the bots are trained on solar and how to talk solar. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So bots meaning incoming text messages. If you call in, voice answers the phone and talks like a very normal human being, and like answers the stuff, trained it, and they can set appointments and do all that stuff. So it's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
It's been a while. I've been waiting for it to get this good, and finally it's getting good. AI is.
Yeah, it is pretty good. The person I'm dating now is AI. She speaks pretty well.
Yeah, that's nice.
No, hey, can I book a time with you for a dealer, like an org? 2:30 on Monday.
Book a time.
2:30 Central.
2:30 Central on Monday. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Am I supposed to ask which solar dealer it is?
Don't say it live on here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just playing. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
They're doing about 75 a month right now. So
nice. Yeah.
Installed. Yeah.
Well, then they already have. Yeah. We'll talk more. They have.
Well, they had my system of spreadsheets, actually less than I had, and
Good
so
yeah, you have a good system of spreadsheets, but that's either way, it's a spreadsheet, and you know how I feel about those. All right. All right, hold on a second. We have another banner scrolling at the bottom. If you have not sponsored or bought your tickets, you need to go to attendsolarcon.com. They are one of our sponsors tonight. They're one of our sponsors tonight. This weird looking dude, this handsome hunk of a man in front of you, his name is T.S. if you've never met him, and he's in solar, and he's the one of the founders, co-founder, and CEO, Chief Marketing Officer. Nope.
I'm nothing. I have no title.
He's all things SolarCon. I'm just playing with him. But they are holding SolarCon, guys, and Jake, you can say it in just a second here, but SolarCon is going to happen in a new place in Vegas, and I've been going since the first SolarCon. We're on this will be number 4. There's been 3 so far, and they've all been in Salt Lake City, so it's a big change to go to Vegas, which is a really cool change. Not that Salt Lake City was bad, everybody, just it's a cool change. And Jake could probably tell us more, but there's 2 ways you get involved. And I've been involved as a CMO of the company a couple years ago. And now they have an awesome CMO, Sean, right now. And so I've been involved on the back end of it, but also I've attended the first year as just a regular attendee. And I've spoke twice on their stages in different capacities. Here's the cool thing. It's always really, really good. It's always really good networking. The whole time you're able to just learn anything from anyone at any time about solar like that. So that's really, really good. Meaning it's not just parts and supplies and all the nerds and software. It's sales, it's marketing, it's everything, and then everything in between. So it's pretty cool. Software as well. All right, go for it.
Thank you for the shout out.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, what's the deal right now? You guys have something before the end of the year. I know you do. So what's the deal when it comes to sponsoring or getting tickets? Is there some kind of deadline?
Um, Joe would know that better. I wish I knew that kind of stuff. I don't.
There's
Joe's
something.
handling that. What's that?
Yeah. I said there's something. I know there's something. It might not be end of year, but it's coming up soon. I know you guys are doing your holiday stuff, sales. So
But I will say if I have the floor that of course go to SolarCon. Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. I love it too. But if I'm going to use this platform right now, I would say reach out to us if you are extremely high level operator in your field. I mean, we're going to be doing workshops this year. We're not doing the whole motivational speakers over and over and over. We are doing workshops, and I'm talking like mergers and acquisitions, um, talking with roofing, how to handle HVAC, like electrical points for licenses. I forgot how they word that, NAPCEP courses. So I'm looking for true experienced people. Financial workshops for business owners, absolutely. So if I have this platform now, I'd say reach out and let us know what your expertise is because we are looking for some high end workshop runners.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we have my AI assistant just gave me. She's gonna kill me. That's my wife, everyone. She's gonna freaking kill me if she heard me say that. Well, sorry. That was a ADD moment. She just handed me tea. So yeah, the workshops I'm actually really excited for because that is definitely new and it's all solar specific. You've had some really good motivational, good people on there though. So I'm not saying you should do it again, but I'm glad you guys had a phase of it. Is all I'm trying to say. It was good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's fun doing the motivational stuff, and we're gonna have a few speakers that do it. But um, yeah, I think what our industry needs this time around is true, tangible data and information that they can take home to increase their careers, increase the health of their business, and
Yep.
honestly, bring back a little bit of fun to the organizations as well. Like recruiting, gamification, incentive programs, like all that stuff. We would love anyone that's highly experienced at these things to reach out and let us meet you, let us hear you, because our industry needs it. It's not me. Our industry needs it. So, um, yeah, thanks for that time
Yeah, of
talking
course.
about that.
Excited. It'll be good. What have you been up to personally?
Uh,
So
you
we've been
know,
talking about other stuff we won't go into, but like the what you've been busy lately?
yeah, I really love marketing. I don't. Brent is extremely good at the technical stuff, and obviously he's created brands that everybody recognizes. I love to be creative and delegate. Um, I feel like I have a pretty creative mind. I've created all the brands I have, obviously, but I need people to help me do it. Like Brent, he just mentioned he was CMO of SolarCon, and we still use his CRMX system today because we can't operate without it. Um, and and so I've been helping a lot of organizations on some marketing campaigns that have been released, and the Morning Energy Show is another marketing campaign, and or business. It's
Yep.
just so fun for me to do this creative marketing. So I've been doing a lot of that, spending a lot more time with my boy. Uh, Typically in previous years, the event takes such a strenuous amount of time, and this year I've been able to spend about half my time with my son, and I'm traveling a lot less. Oh my goodness.
Are
I'm
you?
not going to hit diamond this year. I might hit gold. So
Dude,
it's,
last year I barely hit uh gold, and then I was what's after gold? Platinum or something.
yeah,
It's not
platinum.
yeah, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit platinum, and then that was the end of it. I stopped traveling as soon as I thought this is great. I was like, nope,
But
dude, I
it's
don't know.
honestly so nice.
Yeah,
Everyone, when I was growing up, I was like, I want to do that traveling. I want to be, because it makes you feel like when companies are having you travel for work, it
yeah,
makes you feel an air of success, right?
right.
Um,
Because not
but
everybody in the at least the corporate world, gets to travel. It's like the cool guys or cool gals.
Yeah,
Or if you're in sales and you're good at sales, they'll pay for your travel, that kind of stuff.
but I'll be the first to tell you now, like success is being at home doing what you love doing, and for a lot of people that's family. So I'll chintz on that a little bit and ride that coattail. Success to me is being with your family, um, and spending time with your kids, showing them dad's around. It makes literally no sense to go out and be successful the way I thought it was and earn all of that money if dad's never home, but my kid has the house and the toys and all of that. It just doesn't make any sense. So for me, success is the ability to spend time with those that I love, and that doesn't mean traveling. So perspective shift over the last few years.
Yep. Yep. I agree with that. It does. It definitely shifts. It's funny because we all grow up watching movies about that. You know what I'm talking about? There's action movies and soft, good little romance movies or whatever, and they all teach the same dang thing since you're a kid or a teenager that you even paid attention to half of that movie, which was, hey, that's not what makes you happy. Have you ever watched the movie Hook? Peter Pan, Hook,
Yeah,
old
yeah,
school, right? The old with Robin Williams
yeah,
as Peter Pan. Dude, the whole movie is about him and his son and his children and how he didn't want to grow up. Then he grew up and is trying to tell him, no, actually, not being young is what I did. I thought that's what I wanted. That's not what I want. I want to be a dad, or I want to. And
yeah.
then he misses his son's baseball game, and he sends a guy to record his baseball game. That's at the beginning of the show.
I
He
remember
sends
that.
somebody
Yeah.
to record an old school camera, and it's like it just shows that it's all. There's always the lesson teaching you the damn stuff, and we still do it anyways. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't
it's
have to be family. It can be what you love doing, spending time
yeah,
with friends, hobbies, just spending. Gosh, man, they say it's lonely at the top. There's a few reasons for it. I think you alienate your friends, you alienate your family, like you become out of touch with what the rest of your circles are doing.
yeah.
It's yeah. So I don't know. I'm not trying to use this platform to rant on, but like
That's what we
it's
do
like
here. That's the whole platform is rant. Banter, rant, talk about anything, dude. Good.
yeah.
Well, so you've been less travel, more family time, and more focus on like your skills that you enjoy. So that's awesome. Good for you,
Yeah.
man. Would
Yeah.
you say
Thank you.
you're happier then? Not that you
Yeah,
were sad, but did you increase happiness?
I did increase happiness. You know, for those that are not in the solar industry, we took like I took the biggest bitch slap across the face that got knocked down to the ground. With what the industry has been going through, it's like I got affected too. Like boom, like I got knocked into the delirium, and I'm just shaking it off and coming out of it. During that time of crisis, like we touched down on the runway of bankruptcy, and we rode on that for a while, and then we were able to take back off again. About half of our companies in our industry went out of business, and we weren't any different. And through that time, um, the stress comes on, and all of the what's about to happen if I do claim bankruptcy. Like, oh my goodness, and the center of all of it, in all of that stress and chaos, what you find is like, oh my God, I need my son. I need peace. I need to focus on the things that make me happy. I need a positive mindset. Because when it takes you down to that level, and you have a choice. You either stay down there and you dwell in it and stress about it, or you focus on the things that you have control of and switch your attitude around. And that's what I learned to do at a different level that I think I have since I was in high school, where I had no responsibilities, right? I think I'm back to the mindset of what's truly important. And it's funny now that we've taken back off. It's funny now where I'm allocating my time and how more efficient I have become, because now I crave that center of peace. That now I crave that, and not so much the traveling and the success as glitz and glamour cameras and
Right.
uh, yeah, you know what I mean. And it's awesome. It's awesome finding the ability to delegate in different ways and find efficiencies that way. And sticking true to the things that make me happy, whether it's hobbies, surfing, I love doing, going on walks,
Yeah.
and taking time for myself, breathing exercises, meditation. And I don't mean like I sit there with my fingers like this. I mean, I don't mean that kind
Sure
of
you don't.
meditation.
Sure you don't, Jake. Just
But
playing.
like in the chaos, going and grabbing a Starbucks coffee and walking down the beach is one of my ways that I do it, right? And
Mhm.
and it's really cool. It's really cool.
That makes me happy to hear. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Dude, I looked across our photos or my photos like on your phone. When you're scrolling for something and then it's kind of like social media and you're like, wait, what's that? Oh, that I remember that, and you're not even looking for that,
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
in your photo history on your own phone, in your photo, and I'm sitting there scrolling through it, and I came across the mastermind in 2022 in fall when we out in Destin that you showed up to.
Oh yeah.
It's
That was
surprised.
cool.
I just barely. That was like a few days ago. So, anyways, I don't know why that came up. I think we were talking about that was the last time you and I talked seriously about as a group, at least, like what makes us happy. You know.
Oh,
Um,
that's true. Yeah,
yeah.
your brother was there. Um,
Yeah,
Earl was
Bennett,
there, right?
Earl was there.
Solar Lily.
Solar Lily was there. Lily Valdez. And a few others. Oh, Zach was there for a minute or half of it. Um,
Yeah, that was
anyways,
a beautiful place. I love that. That
that
little
was
shop that you took us to, that little cafe that we sat
yeah,
at.
that is Camille's. Yeah, Camille's is a
Yeah.
popular little place. Anyone has been in Destin, you guys know what I'm talking about, or close to Destin. It's just right outside of Destin. I guess it's still considered Destin, but it's like towards like Santa Rosa Beach and stuff.
Yeah, that was fun.
Dude, Chase lives. My son lives in Destin now. Isn't that funny?
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he just lives there with his girlfriend. They just got engaged.
I saw that. Good for him.
Yeah, it is. Oh, Matt Mitchell, it says that you're trying to come on stage, but I was waiting for your camera, dude. Are you going to join us on camera? Are you going to be a little butthole?
You better turn that camera on.
He
You
said,
told
I'm
everyone.
almost home at 7:41. So he's probably waiting to get home. All right. When you're home, Matt, turn your camera on all. And at that point, no, Matt's like the co-host of the show because he's like the first ones that we joined with. He joined with me live randomly for anyone listening. It was kind of fun.
Nice.
Um,
Hey, but do I have you locked in Monday?
sure. I think
All
so.
right. Right
Let
on.
me just double check. Monday at 2:30
Central Time.
Central. Could you do earlier, or is that pretty much the best time for your team?
I could do. Let me double check this.
If not, then I can make it work. It's not a hard thing. I just need to know before. I'd rather ask if you can change it while I can, rather than asking them to change it when I've already booked it.
I can't do earlier, but I can do later.
It's just going to how. What's later? What's your other options?
Oh, you know what? I could do 1:30. No, I can't because I have. I can do anytime between 2 and 8.
Mhm. How about 5?
Okay,
My 5 my time. So 4-3 your time, right?
that
Isn't that 3
works.
your time?
That works.
Let's do that.
Oh,
All right.
I'll be in Houston, so I'll be Central Time.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
5, both of us on 5. Okay. You sure that is okay while you're traveling?
Yeah, because I'm not traveling that day, and we allocated time until 8 o'clock. So
Okay.
one of the things we have on the agenda is my job is to reach out to Brent at CRMX and schedule an appointment. So I'm reaching out right now and
There we
schedule
go.
it.
Do it. That's awesome, man. Thank you. I just sent you an invite. See, this is how it's done, y'all. Hey, should I send it to your SolarCon email or something else?
Yeah, that's
Like
fine.
I have a couple of them here. Okay, so got it sent. I'll put the meeting link on there later. It'll
Thank
show
you.
up. Well, what else we got going? By the way, we have. Let's see. We usually have a few more people trickle in by now, but I also didn't do that great at announcing it a whole lot before. So that's classic. I'm glad you're here though, by the way, because it's fun to talk with you and get the latest updates. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is this right here. I'm doing another little banner. These are like my little commercials, but really, since a lot of the audience is solar, so Nick Borelli, if anybody's heard of Nick Borelli,
Oh yeah.
I partnered with him. He's the founder of this. It's his. What do you call that? A brain? His little brainchild. There we go. I almost said brain baby. Oh man, that would have been good. So his brainchild of this idea of Swift Solar, which is a platform of getting it's specifically for dealers, solar dealers, to make it a good experience. But it's funny because it sounds like, oh wait, is it like power, like the network marketing side of things? Like, is it like power? No. Is it like freedom? No. Well, then what is it like? We're like, well, it's not any of those things, but it's similar. It's just not, we're not trying to be either of those or compete with either of those. It's its own thing. Anyways, so if you guys are a dealer, go to goswiftsolar.com. You'll see what I mean. I'm not going to go into pitching it here. I'm just saying that's my announcement. If you're a dealer and you like to get paid directly and not by the installer, but by the financier, you might want to look at that. If you like to suddenly open up your network to a bunch of local installers, not just a few nationwide installers, they're like local installers, which by the way, and Jake can attest to this to some level. I know it's not a blanket statement, but usually if you can find local installers, those are your better installers. Like if they've done a good job, they've been around, they have a good reputation, and you can find and build a relationship with them, they're usually your best ones. They're faster, they do a good job.
They're a little more expensive, but who cares? They're worth it. Stability, communications on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the national organizations are the ones that are in multiple states. Or we need them. They're beautiful. I love you guys. But also, yeah, if I'm a dealer in the local market, I am going with a local installer. No question about that.
Yeah. So we've done that. We've done a whole come on in. We've done a whole built a whole network. Nick's done a lot of that part of it and built them in. And so you can come in. We're using like the Interflow system, which has been really good for us, and they're also helped us customize it big time for everybody. But it basically, as a dealer, look at this, Jake. You can come in and to the Swift platform, and you instantly have Interflow for free and proposals for free for your team. You go to the state that you're installing in, you choose from the installers, it pulls in all their rates, of course, right, and all their stuff in the red line that's for you, and then you do the proposal, send it, they sign, and it's through the installer. It's not through you, it's not through Swift, it's through the installer that you did the pay with whoever the installer is doing. So it's all good, easy stuff. You sign the deal and the installer gets notified and they start the project. So it's kind of cool. So like, and then I can do that in San Diego, or I can say, you know what? I wonder who's up in Sacramento on the Swift platform. Go up to Sacramento. I got a deal up there because I've been selling in SDG&E territory, but I got these deals that keep coming through PG&E, so I'm going to check that out. You can, because before it's always this little pain in the ass process of like, oh, I don't really know like who's a good installer. I'm just going to leave this and give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's always a scenario. Now, I don't mean you can just go nationwide and start selling everywhere. You still have to learn the markets. But when you're in just like just a skip over and you kind of know you could sell there, you just don't know who to work with. It's nice. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I used to think, hey, I want this platform so I can sell in Florida, I can sell in California, I can sell in Texas, I can sell in Virginia. And then after understanding that every utility is different and all that. I was just like, never mind. I don't want to memorize all that. Thank you.
Nah.
Yeah, but yeah, but you could. Anyways, that's what Swift Solar is. So I'm pretty excited. Nick's done an awesome job, and we've partnered up on that to get it going. And we have our first few dealers, dude. We have first few dealers getting onboarded right now. So we're gonna keep rocking and rolling with them.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Good job.
Yeah.
You're good
The
at whatever you do.
Thanks, man. Well, and I'm usually with um good partners. So
Oh, yeah.
and
Speaking of, we have some things to chat about that obviously you asked do I have the bandwidth at one point, and we found out I don't.
that's fine. I already knew
Uh,
that. You
but
warned
it
me.
is something I do want to do 100%. I hope you do too.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean still like coming up?
Yeah. Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean, I have to get I have to get some of this bandwidth free,
yeah, yeah.
which I'm
Sweet.
working.
It's a secret, everyone. I know there's 2 of you listening live right now, but it's a secret. I actually don't know Hey guys, let me stop. If you're listening right now or you're just jumping on, you can click on a link live or to join us live here on stage. This would be stage, like on camera, audio on, we talk and just ask questions, share. Obviously, and when I say networking, it does not have to be how I am or Jake is. Jake and I just know each other. So we're just talking randomly about anything. You can be a little more formal if you're, I don't know. I'm nervous when I come on somebody else's platform. I don't know. Are you, Jake? Like a little bit like, okay, how am I supposed to approach this? I'm a little bit nervous. I've never seen this person before.
Absolutely, but I
Yeah.
love you, Brent. I love you, but I would love to talk with someone else for sure.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But yes, but that's the point is you guys jump in. It doesn't matter. That's really what I'm getting down to without Jake's assistance on that. um,
No, it is a bit nerve wracking sometimes, but if you're out there and you want to join in on this, I promise you, like we are interested in what you have to say, and I'll probably end up asking you a lot of questions. I love learning, and I don't know a lot of things, so I would love to ask you some questions.
yep. Yeah, we've learned. We've had some really good some of these talks. One of them I remember Matt just joined us. What's up, Matt?
Hello, hello. What's up, boys?
Hello. Welcome back.
Hey, hey, Matt.
Um, we had one of the calls we had like a month and a half ago or something like that. I don't know how long it's been, but it's this season of Cigar Talk. It just turned into this like super masterclass of tons of marketing and sales geniuses inside of it. It was cool.
That
It's
was a
like,
great
oh, we're learning
one.
about this, then this, and this, and this, and this, and this. It was pretty fun.
Oh, nice.
Not just that. It's not you were on it, Jake. But it wasn't just like learning. It was just it's the camaraderie. It's the feeling of like, cool. I'm in the right room with people I like.
Yeah.
And I don't mean everyone would have liked it. I mean, I just felt that way. So the goal is to have different versions of that each time for each people. Because sometimes, how do I say this nicely? Everybody on here is having a good time, and I'm like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But that's the whole point of it is we can talk about anything. And I hope it. I'm always waiting for somebody to take it down the deep, dark tunnel of like politics or like religion, and I'm just gonna have fun with it. So I'm waiting. You guys go ahead.
Oh my goodness. People get wild about politics. I don't even know why you would encourage that.
Well, I'm not about to necessarily encourage it, but I'm going to.
But he'll be here for it.
I'll be here for it all day long. I'll get the popcorn out and we'll have some fun. And I'll
Did you know
probably
that the Constitution isn't real? No.
Yeah. Hey,
Just kidding.
oh shoot. Yeah, exactly. Constitution. After watching that movie, after watching what's the movie with where he's like trying to steal the Constitution and there's 2 of them. It's a good movie.
Yeah, the national treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure, dude. National Treasure has it down. It's kind of like Back to the Future and time travel. It's real. Time travel's real because Back to the Future said so.
Hey, I'll tell you something. Since we're speaking about the most random things, I'll tell you a new hobby that I got back into from when I was a little kid:
What's that?
collecting sports cards.
Oh, really?
It's and Marvel and Disney are taking off, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're increasing, like the hobby is increasing 25% every single year right now. It is
Dang,
going
right when I
off.
thought it was like because it kind of ramped up, but I think I was within a little, what do you call that? A little silo of information watching Gary Vee going crazy on it 5 years
Yeah.
ago. And then, but I'm glad it's not even, it was just getting started. That's cool. So what are you doing mostly right now? Like baseball, football, or anything?
I'm mostly baseball, football, and these Disney cards, like the Mickey Mouse just sold for $500,000. um,
Jeez. Wow.
the Disney cards are they're made by the baseball card manufacturers. It was the last year was the first one that came out. But the Disney cards are killing it. The Spider-Man, I think, just sold for 3 million or something like
Wait,
that.
so these are new. The Disney cards are a new concept. It's not an old concept I just don't know about.
They're new. The Disney cards are new.
Wow.
The
I thought
Marvel
they
cards,
just
I think
been
it's their
around.
fourth or fifth year. What's that?
Okay. I thought they'd just been around, the Disney ones. I get that Marvels would be relatively new, but you're saying it's not like an old Mickey Mouse for everyone listening, some like vintage Mickey Mouse card that just sold. You're saying
No,
these
it was one that was made this year, just sold for
wow.
$500,000.
Woo.
But yeah, dude, I don't know if you know this, but they're now putting like when you open a pack of cards, like you're hoping to get autographs now from the players. You're hoping to get
Yeah.
pieces of their jersey with an autograph. Like they've gotten pretty dang cool with these cards.
I do know that because my boys were collecting them for a while. They go through that age of like, I think it's around 12 to 14, or 8 to 14, really.
It's 41 is where I'm at.
Well, you came back to it, you see. But yeah, I do like it. I had like so many. I think I want to say 40 something, maybe almost 50. It's like 48 or 49 Michael Jordans. I didn't have his actual original rookie, but I had so many Jordans, and I gave them to my nephews. And
That's
now I'm
wild.
trying to figure out Ryan. And then these guys, I'm gonna have to approach them. Like, can I have those back? Like, is there
Yeah.
No, I'm playing, but I'm glad they got them. But yeah, I used to collect a ton of them, and so I had all kinds, mostly basketball and baseball, some football. Yeah. Here's Earl, gratitude himself.
What's up, guys?
What up, Earl?
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Gratitude.
What's
That's
cracking?
not a bad name to be associated with. Gratitude.
Right?
That's very cool.
Yeah. What's going on? How's Texas?
Good. I'm in Houston right now.
Jake, isn't
Oh.
that where you're going next week?
Yeah, I'm
Or
going to Houston next week.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna be here till the 17th.
Oh, dude, you should come over and do a training.
Yeah, let me know what day.
Next week, Monday. I'll be there Monday through. I fly back out Thursday.
Okay.
So I'll
Okay.
hit you up down there for sure.
Yeah, let me know. I'm out here with Melissa Ramiza and her team Glide.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
she's
it.
killing it. What's that?
No, I just said cheers to Brent.
Mm-hmm.
Cigar cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers that right there. Here's ting. I'll get right there. Oh, check this out. I got a little projector I'm testing out. Just got it today. That's my back door. That's all nasty, dirty from dogs and stuff. And then
Dirty dogs.
that goes to a projector. It goes to a projector in front of me right here. So I got the outdoor projector now, so I can watch movies with a cigar. It's fantastic.
Epic.
Nice.
Because we have our TV inside, but I was like, how do I watch stuff out here while relaxing? Yeah.
I'm grilling. Got my Traeger.
Oh yeah, baby. That's nice. I love grilling it up. So Earl, you've been in Texas how long now?
I'd say a little over a month, maybe a month and a half.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you moved there though, right?
I moved there. Yeah. So I'm in Austin. I've been in Austin, but the whole time in Austin, I've been just going all over Texas. So I've been to Dallas, did some trainings, went to San Antonio, went to now I'm in Houston. So just constantly moving, collaborating with all the companies out here.
Good man.
Yeah.
How come you're um, so focused on that? Like, what's your big goal?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just to spread the gratitude mindset, right? I see a lot of companies that don't necessarily practice it, and I believe it'll impact the whole team as a whole and the company all the way from the bottom all the way up. And yeah, I mean, that's what I've been seeing. I mean, I've only been in this blitz for 2 days now, and already it's made an impact to at least half of the people here. There's 50 people here, and so people are just constantly coming up to me about like, man, I needed that, right? So that just tells me so many companies don't train it enough. If people come to me that never met me before, they're like, I needed that. Like, okay, so your company's not really teaching you guys that stuff.
Yeah.
um, yeah. So it's fun. I mean, I've been telling people recently that like solar, little by little over time, will be something I do less and less of as far as training within it. I'm already starting to branch out and work with people in the tech space and other industries where I do the same thing, but in other industries now.
Nice.
Right on, my man. Yeah,
Yep.
you've been sticking with gratitude for so long. You have a mission. You had a mission, and you're doing it.
Yeah, 5 years now. And about 2 years ago, I was able to do it, switch over full time, and not have to knock and sell solar anymore. So
You sexy son of a bitch. Good job.
thank you. You guys inspired me and have helped me in a lot of different ways, for sure. You know, back in the switch to solar days and San Diego
Switch to
days,
solar.
I learned a lot from you guys.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is.
Go there, guys. There you go.
Yeah. So have you guys? I don't know if you guys have talked about it or heard about it or anything. I'm sure you heard about it, but what do you guys think about it? The virtual power plant programs
Oh,
in California and Texas.
it's going to be all over the country. Like every,
I don't actually know what's a virtual power plant.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
it's gonna blow up for sure.
With all the batteries being deployed, the utilities can tap into that energy that homeowners have in their battery.
Okay, cool.
And
That's
during
cool.
times where the grid is strained at its worst, and then homeowners can get compensated either by a discounted battery or get paid for the energy, or both. Depends on kind of the program. Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Which is a big problem. Isn't that one of the largest problems they run into as a utility company?
Mhm.
The service. What does
Right.
that call?
Well, the grid, I don't know. I mean, which in turn, I guess, affects the utility company. So
Yeah.
all the utility companies are going to be switching to transmission and distribution.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what net metering 3 was. They're tired of that gooseneck at 4 o'clock, spiking everyone using the power.
Right.
Creates strain on the grid. So the virtual power plant, basically, instead of continuing to build grid with all the new housing and everything, they just are like, we just need homeowners to start storing power at their houses because we can't keep up with this, and we certainly don't want to keep be in charge of generation. So organizations are actually paying more
Mhm.
outside of. I think Earl's probably talking about Solright using BPP. Is that right, Earl?
Yeah.
Yep.
Outside of that, there's organizations funded by the cities and by the states that are paying higher premiums for the kilowatt hours than the utilities are. And the utility companies are welcoming it because they all across the country, even Arizona is a battery state now. You shouldn't sell in Arizona unless you are putting batteries on the house now. Every state is switching where utilities want transmission and distribution. So VPP products were created and are being created by so many other organizations. You can't even sell a Q-cell, Enfin Q-cell lease without being on it. They force it to happen. It's mandatory on a TPO product, and they're hoping that it would be silly if people that bought systems didn't engage in VPP. It's pretty dope. It's the way it's going.
Yeah, it is cool.
For
I
sure.
didn't know it was called that, but now I gotta like call it the right terms.
Yeah.
What's up, Tom? Everyone, welcome Tom. This is Tom's first time.
What's up, Mr. Cotter?
First time caller, long time listener.
Yeah, he's a cigar talk virgin.
Ah.
Welcome.
I did so. I was looking right next to me. I just pulled up this book. I don't know if you've seen this book before.
That's a good book. I've read it.
It's sitting right next to me.
One of them gurus probably wrote it.
Yeah, those gurus.
I just wanted to jump on and say hi to you guys. Appreciate.
Yeah, well,
I don't know Matthew, but I stalk Brent and Jess, Jake, and see Earl smiling and sharing gratitude all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen you around quite a bit in the groups and stuff, so it's good to see you in there. You're always a positive dude. You don't go on weird rants, so thank you.
No, if you want me to talk theology, I came here to talk theology and
yes, that's what I was gonna say. If you ever want to, come here.
He's like, finally, I can let loose.
I just appreciate somebody who is nice to people there, even when they ask questions. I saw somebody comment today. I don't care to say names. I don't even remember the name, but I wouldn't tell you if I did remember. But they're like, they asked a question, and this wasn't in solar, by the way. This is in the high level group, another group, but still, it always happens in solar and other groups too. It was a simple, honest question. They were new to the group. You can see they're new, and they said, oh no, this was solar. Dang, something was asked about an area. Let's just say that because it happened today. I don't want to point out anybody. It wasn't a big deal, by the way. I'm not about to say anything big, but it was just, I just was like, how come somebody can't ask, how do I figure out how to sell in that market without getting ripped on? Like they were just simply asking an honest question. How do I sell in that market? And they're like, if you don't know the market, don't sell in it. It's like,
it's wild.
How did you learn how to sell in the market, dumbass? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you think the platforms are for?
Right? Like, what in the world? Anyways, I don't say that back to him, but I'm thinking it. And then Tom's the guy that probably doesn't even think it. He's just a nice guy. But yeah, that's how you've come across is what I'm getting at, Tom. So
well, one of the challenges we have in the solar industry, and I've been, in home solar sales for nearly 2 decades. So we have a lot of solar veterans, and those veterans, not to make light of actual service to our country, but solar veterans have a lot of PTSD. And sometimes we may not react very well it's social media, so for some people it's not even real life. It's just a chance to vent and
True.
mess with people. But my career has benefited hugely from social media. A long time ago when Obama was in office, I was sitting in my office in Fresno, California, working on a solar proposal, and there was an event going on at the White House, and they were streaming it, and I was actually tweeting, things that they were streaming from the White House, and this is a long time ago. And from the White House press stage, they actually mentioned my tweets on Twitter, and it was like this revelation, like, oh my gosh, solar and social media can really benefit people by breaking down all the barriers and connections. And we've come a long way since then, but it's good and bad. It's a tool, so it's how we use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So good for you. You obviously understand to be nice as much as possible. So I like that. I'm one of the guys that are probably with some kind of PTSD, I'm not a veteran. But like, I was just raised by a mom that just told me how it was in any time. And so I was just like, if somebody will say something, it's usually if they're just mean, then I'm like, yeah, don't be a dick. But it was some of the times I'm just like, I'm usually more mad at the person being an idiot for no reason. And it takes everything in me not to like reach through. I would never want to comment. That's not good enough for me. I like want to reach through and just be like, ah, and grab them and say, just be nice. You know, like it's not hard to be nice to people. And of course, my hypocrisy, I want to strangle their neck in trying to tell them to be nice. But still,
Yeah.
that's how it feels sometimes. But yeah, I'm glad there's good voices. What are you doing, man? What are you? I know you sell solar. I know you're in solar. You've been in a while, it seems. I didn't know that you've been in that long, actually. What did you do before solar? Are you out of here?
I was actually a. Go ahead.
Everyone say goodbye to Jake. He just said goodbye. I was just making sure
Jake.
he was kind of our sponsor today. Bye, sponsor. Okay, go ahead, Tom. Sorry about that.
I was actually a pastor, so if you want to talk theology,
Heck yeah,
have,
you really were. You're not joking.
I really wasn't. I didn't come here to talk theology, but that's what I did before solar.
All right.
And I was actually preaching a sermon about stewardship of God's creation, and started learning about solar and renewable energy. And my daughter actually had, we were in Central Valley in California. My daughter had breathing problems every winter that was combined from, people burning stuff and, agriculture and the geography of the valley as well. But I asked myself this question. I was like, when we turn on a light switch in our house, am I actually contributing in some way to my daughter's health problems and her breathing problems? And so that was kind of what got me started down the solar trail. So I preached a sermon and talked about solar, and so learned more than I knew about it, and got connected with the American Solar Energy Society and the National Solar Tour, and started organizing the Fresno Solar Tour. So I met contractors and homeowners and people that were interested in learning more about solar and all those kinds of things. So, and then one of the contractors asked me to work for him. That was in 2005.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matt, were you still wearing diapers in 2005? I think you were. Just giving him crap. 2005. It's like, I don't think I was born.
Yeah.
He's 30.
I don't think I was.
He's 30 something.
So it's been an interesting, evolution of the industry, to see it go from, installers to dealers, and what's this thing called a red line? I've actually never worked for anyone that had a red line. Interestingly enough.
You still haven't? Is that what you mean?
I still haven't, no.
Yeah.
And I've never not been paid a commission that I was owed. So I'm one of the unicorns in the industry. So very lucky, not always of my own smarts, but just kind of lucked out that way.
That's awesome. Well, that's good, because it does. Yeah, I think I would say, I don't know what percentage. I'd be willing to bet at least 50% of the time you don't get paid, it's your own fault. So that's because you were, in my opinion, it's because you did a good job at vetting who you're working with, and then doing a good job when you turn in your deals, so you don't have all these weird clawbacks and stuff.
Yeah, when I started selling solar, I actually had a friend that worked at a company that said, "You don't want to work at the company I'm with. Here's 2 or 3 companies that you should talk to."
Oh, really?
And so that I try to pay that forward, in a lot of the solar groups, not trying to recruit people all the time, but just trying to steer them in the right direction to minimize bad experiences so that they have the best chance for longevity in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man. Well, good. I'm glad you jumped on here with us. What do you have going? How can we help you? This is networking too. So it's banter, network, religion. And what can we help you with? What are you doing?
How you can help me? I think keep doing what we're doing. I think that we're headed towards a really interesting place in the solar industry. What you're doing with Swift, I work with Jonathan Budd and a lot of the people over at Power, and I think those of us who really care about this industry and who have been in it for a little while, I tell people we want to keep the soul in solar and really be a positive influence because for whatever reasons in every business, in every industry, there's negativity, but really show people we're really just getting started in solar in the United States, and we've got some really good stuff ahead. And it's it's sad to me that people come into solar and it's like this magic thing. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for a photon to make it from the sun to the solar panels on my roof. All that kind of magical, like this is pretty amazing stuff. And then you kind of get, you feel like a cog in a wheel. You're just part of this machine where there's no heart to it. There's no community or culture. I know. So just, keep telling people that they can have what they're dreaming of, that they can have this amazing work that actually helps people and serves people and make a great living at the same time. And you don't have to burn yourself out, and, you can still have a healthy lifestyle and not grind yourself into the ground health-wise, trying to provide for you and your family at the same time.
Yeah. Hallelujah. See, I can go along with you there. Amen.
I'm done preaching.
Yeah.
No, I don't feel like you're preaching. I just feel like you did a good job. So that was my amen. Hallelujah. Christy, my wife, will say that. We grew up Mormon, by the way. So like there was no hallelujahs or amens like out loud. So it's kind of fun to say it.
My wife's name is Christy as well.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, good. Okay, so Ruby's in here, real guys. So Tom, you'll hear me have like weird moments where it feels like I have no attention span, but I'm trying to juggle things to help everybody know what's going on in the background. So people make comments, Tom, as you know, in this digital world. Let's see somebody design a no burnout plan that is sustainable for family and a fat wallet. Let's see it, Ruby. That's up to you, and then you show it to us. Get the design. No, yeah, that's I think that's what you're saying. Let's see somebody design a no burnout plan. Oh man, that's actually a good topic to talk about, the no burnout. It seems to be one of those things that it seems to be the internal game. In my opinion, it'd be the internal game first is why. And because I've done this enough, businesses enough, plenty to know that anytime I start with I always end up with a money goal, first of all. So I'm not about to say I don't have money goals, but I will have a target. But if that target becomes my why, I suck at whatever I'm doing. I'm more miserable. My health goes down. I'm less attentive, more a little bit like short with my wife and kids, and I'm working more too long. And it spirals down slowly because then I exercise a little less, and then my health doesn't feel good. So then I'm more miserable. And then I wonder why my sales or ideas go down, so it does start there. That said, certainly to have a target is something to move towards, and that's just a target. It doesn't mean it's not your purpose. There's a big difference for me between a target and a purpose. A target is just so I can measure how I'm doing. A purpose is why I'm going about it the whole time.
Yeah.
And the purpose is constantly changing, and that's okay. My target, I don't want it to change too often. I want to get there and then have another target and then get there like a Sherpa would up the mountain, right? But that's, for me, I think that's why a lot of times we have a hard time with it based on the topic, the burnout topic. That runs in every industry, even whether you're working in a cubicle or you're an entrepreneur, there is burnout. But cool. That is a good topic. You got me all touchy-feely. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Well, what's the so yeah, we'll keep doing that, Tom. Thanks for sharing. That's what we will do. We'll keep doing it. And we'll work together on how we can do it better. I think we'll just things like SolarCon, things like conferences, local networking. Power has a cool network. I've never been part of anything Power. Actually, no, that's a lie. Excuse me. not a purposeful lie. When Power first launched, like the full hype thing, right? Like the hype launch of the business launch.
Was that like 2014, 15?
Yeah. It was right before the like Trump won. Like it was like a year before that or something, right? I think that's when it was. I was in Eagle, Idaho. I just know that, which would have been 2000. Okay. No, I don't know. Then that would have been 2016, dude. So maybe the beginning of 2016. Did they launch? Were they already pretty well into it? Do you know?
Because I felt like it started as just like a MLM lead gen company, really.
Yeah, no, this is when they were announcing the partnership with Tesla panels. Sorry, I don't want to make people feel like there's a partnership with Tesla shingled panels, the shingles.
Right.
But that was when that was being announced. Is that about right? When things were launching that way?
It could be. So I started building my business on the platform in 2020. So that was before my time. So it was
cool though.
They've gone through a couple different evolutions.
And by the way, what I'm getting at, Tom, is that I didn't want to say I haven't been involved. That's actually how I looked at solar for the first time. Is Power.
Okay, interesting.
And not necessarily selling it. I'm a marketer, and I was coming from that world, and I was still consulting clients. So picture me like talking to business owners, and then doing that, and then realizing, oh, there's this cool thing with solar, and you can market that. And I like affiliate marketing stuff. You know, that all those different ways to make residual income. Of sorts, and so that monthly mailbox money, right? But that's what I looked at it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was seriously like somebody who involved reached out to me. We talked a little bit. I almost signed up, but that was back like with big sign up fees and investments into it and stuff like that. It was kind of cool. They have come a long way. Power has a long ways because now they're a real force. So good for you guys. Well, anyways, that's it. Matt, dude, why are you wearing a beanie?
Dude, I'm back on the beanie game. Come on now. We got to take advantage of when it remotely gets like a wind chill. You're like, all right, I can rock a sweater. I can throw a beanie on. I can take advantage of it, get cozy because shit, dude. If not, it's just
where you guys at? It's 33 degrees outside here. Okay.
Yeah. So
he's sitting in San Diego wondering why he's wearing a beanie. That's where he's at.
Yeah. I mean, back in my hardcore BMX days, it was beanie 24/7, even in the 90-degree weather. So
yeah, Christy's like that. She likes wearing a beanie all the time, even if it's not cold. Yeah. But yeah, Tom, I'm in North Florida Panhandle, so like Florida Bama. That's where Earl moved out here for a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, Brent, when are you going to do a CRMX retreat, bro?
Oh, wow. I don't know. Dude, you want to know why I don't do retreats now? Or like I don't think about them as often? Is as soon as I started like looking into them, I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. And I've been to so many and this. And then I realized how expensive they are and how you lose money doing them.
Well,
and I'm not even trying to do them to make money. I just would not like to lose money.
Yeah. Well, do the Ryan Stewman method where you have people come and they have to work on the ranch. That's part of it.
Oh yeah, work on the ranch. That's a good idea.
Yeah, like make them do chores.
I was thinking of doing like sponsors and not.
Right. I was just, anyways, but yeah, we had that mastermind we did. It was a little mastermind group. I actually mentioned that earlier today with Jake when he was on here. We did that. Earl, you were there.
Yep.
And it was just like a small group. What would I call that? The something freedom and fortunes mastermind or something like that. I'm all about freedom. I like whatever freedom means to people. That's what I mean. Yeah. I'm all about that. And we did that, and that was actually a good time. That was fun bonding with some people, talking business. Bennett came. Remember Bennett was sharing? He was on his dirty dough high.
Was that your place, or where did you do that?
We went to Destin and just got a big old beach mansion. Yeah.
Oh, sick.
It was sick.
Yeah.
A pool. It had a rooftop. We did rooftop yoga and meditation. We had gourmet chef come cook for us at the house.
Oh, I forgot about the chef. That was awesome.
Yeah. The food was so good.
Yeah.
And the beach was a walking distance. I rode a bike they had bikes there at the house, right? And I haven't ridden a bike in like years, and it was super fun, just riding around to the beach and hanging out. It was super cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's so we should do something like that. Joe Moose gave me the idea of saying, if you're gonna call it and you're gonna do an annual event, even if it's small, you got to call it CRMX Games. And I was like, oh, Matt's gonna like that. Matt's gonna like that.
Heck yeah.
The CRMX Games. I was like, hell yeah, that's actually fun. I like that. But then we got to make some kind of competition out of it because it's the CRMX Games.
Yeah. Obstacle course.
Yeah. Obstacle course, that'd be fun. We all go home, sign insurance waivers, please. But yes, we should do one. I'm fine with doing one. I'm just saying that's why I don't even like attempt them to even think about them right now. Retreat stuff, but I'd love to do one here. I wish we had little spots out on the corners of our property. That's actually part of my dream of things, in the more immediate future, in the next 3 or 4 years, is to have little like little mini homes,
Little yurts.
No, just like a home. Yurt would be cool too, but I mean like a small little home cabin,
Yeah, like ADU. Yeah, little cabin.
Yeah, and just put them out here and just have. And I don't mean for necessarily retreats, but just for anybody to come stay and have fun, family, friends, or whatever. But then it would be easy to just say, come out and let's have fun and build your business.
I'll just come out with a tent. Shit.
With what?
I'll just come out with a tent and a backpack, and
well, you're always invited to come stay here. I'll go stay out. We'll set up a yurt in the backyard, do a fire pit every night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Wow, let's do that. Literally, it's just dark outside. You know how it is here.
Yeah.
Right now, for I don't know how weather. I'm not a weatherman, but apparently, whatever's happening, low or high pressure or something's happening, because I can see, and I'm blind, and I can see everything. The stars, the moon, everything's brighter right now. It's insanely clear right now out here. But maybe, yeah, you look up and I'm like, oh, there's the Milky Way. Like you can just see the whole. It looks like a cloud across the sky. It's pretty cool.
That's epic.
But yeah. Well, what's Matt, dude? You're always in real estate talk and mindset, learning from you. You go to a lot of conferences lately, like at least small ones too, local ones, and then you're traveling.
Yeah, try to. Yeah, it's been. Yeah, this year I've done the most traveling business wise than I have. I mean, I've only been in business a couple of years, but yeah.
But still, you've been this year. I've seen you constant doing something, which is fantastic. By the way, that's good.
Yeah, dude. That the one in Cabo was kind of crazy. All inclusive. Everything was paid for. It was like a full inclusive resort. The room was paid for, the whole resort. So it was like everything was free in Cabo.
Was that at Onyx Silva's event, or he just happened to be there speaking?
Who was it? Who are you saying?
Anik.
Yeah. It's
he's a marketer.
Camboge Ventures was like the guy running it. It was like it's called X Pro. Yeah, X Pro is like the community part of it, but he's like a newer entrepreneur, not newer in business, but newer as like an influencer. Not influencer, but starting to film and document his entrepreneurial ship. And he's actually really, really cool guy. But awesome. Yeah, he just threw on that event. Couple dudes that were there, but yeah, that was super cool. I invited my friend. They were just like, as long as you show us a plane ticket, we'll provide everything else for you.
Wow.
And the ticket was like $100 because I'm in, TJ's it's house away from me. So, but yeah,
that's cool. Good for you.
Nice.
What did you learn there? Share your favorite things.
That was actually the networking. Obviously, that's the main reason for going to events. That's the money's in the hallways, right? But for some reason, this event, particularly the way it was set up, was just everyone was just networking was at like the top of their mind on that event. Like the knowledge and stuff was cool and the speakers, but everyone was just on board with connecting, and being super friendly and yeah. So I made tons of cool connections there. So that was the highlight.
What do you mean it was like that? It just happened to be
I
like
don't know.
that? They were
It was so
encouraging you.
weird.
But
I couldn't really figure it out. But everyone I talked to at the event, they had the same opinion. They're like, yeah, I don't know, but it's the way people are right now. The networking is just seamless, and connecting is just as easy as it's ever been for any other conference that they've been to. Maybe it was the environment. Maybe it was because everyone was at a all-inclusive resort. I don't know, but free drinks. Everyone was just feeling good. I don't know, but it was
noted.
yeah, it was strange how cool that was, and everyone was just grateful to be surrounded by like-minded folks, and they just wanted to connect and exchange numbers. Like I got like 14 or 15 new contacts, that at that time.
Yeah,
So that was cool.
that is
and
cool.
then the other thing they did that was really cool was, how typically it's like, okay, you're in a room and there's a speaker that presents, and then you listen to the speaker and then they walk off and then that's it. This was more like the speakers were a part of the whole event, the whole 3 days, walking around. There was even side rooms after the speakers where they would just pull up a chair and then you can just come and ask your questions directly to them.
Yeah.
And then afterwards go up and like talk to them one-on-one, or just kind of like they were just, like everyone else pretty much. So that was another thing that made it really cool.
Yeah. It's funny how in business and marketing, I don't know where the trend started, and I get why. The logic is make the leaders a little more exclusive so they can stay that way, but then you don't have access to them and it makes you want to have access to them.
Yeah.
But if you'll just open it up, they actually will. It's almost like you have a different type of respect for them.
Mm-hmm.
They see more, as long as it's not one of those situations where they're pricks, but like they're genuinely there to just help you learn. Who's like that is High Level, like sitting down at their events, and like they have their little mastermind level, High Level, like Go High. Everyone calls it Go High Level because their websites Go High. But High Level, they're 3 founders. They'll like their mastermind event, and I don't mean mastermind like pay $50,000 to be part of mastermind. Nothing wrong with that, but that's not what it is. It was like you just pay $1,800 or $2,000 to go to the event or something like that, and it's like 100 people there, so it's not their big annual event. And they just come up there and you just get to talk to them. You sit down with lunch with them. They answer any questions. You just sit there and talk with them, and they're just the coolest people. I think that's needed.
Yeah, big time. That's how this event was. Everyone's just eating dinner with everyone.
That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the networking. I've been doing this enough, meaning the event stuff, and I've learned to speak from like Speaking Empire, Dustin Matthews, Dave Van Hoos. They had like this little circuit they had going called Speaking Empire for a while, for like 6 years. I think they did it. This is back in 2000. I want to say they started at 2012 and ended in like 2017 or 18 or something like that. Or 17 or 18. And anyways, I went to some of their events, and that was the last time events were taking off. And then it has a lull where events aren't cool and people get sick of them, and then they go back up, and it seems to trend like that constantly. And I don't mean that has to do with COVID. I mean it has to do with just it trends up and down. Events come and go, and it's like when we get too engulfed in AI / technology, it's like you start craving to just like talk with people.
For sure.
So, and then the more events you go to, you're like, okay, I've had enough. Let's talk to some technology. But like, no, I think what happens is everybody jumps on the event bandwagon, and then people are like, I can't go to another event. There's like one twice a month.
It's crazy how much there are nowadays. Like in the past couple of years, I feel like it's just gone. Everyone's got an event, for.
Well, and what's happening too, in the past couple of years, you just started in business heavily. You got serious about it, right? So it's like buying a red car. Now everybody's got a damn red car where you look.
Could be like that.
Yeah, it's a little more. Events have been, but it has increased. I'm not saying it has not increased, but it is. There's more and more people teaching to do events, so then people throw events.
Right. And it's just a big giant fun funnel.
Yeah.
In-person funnel.
I think the other thing too, like you were mentioning, like the one-on-one time with leaders and influencers. I think we have an abundance of information, and that people are really hungry for those more kinds of personal interactions to figure out how to implement that information for them and their business. I think that's
Yeah.
what people are really craving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, and it's always something, and many times we just don't know we're craving it until finally we get the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, when you're hungry and you don't know why, and sometimes you're just thirsty, or you're thirsty and you think you're thirsty and you're hungry, whatever it is. I think that happens internally as a, like, when you're searching for things, you're like, something's missing. I don't know what it is. And then you find it. You're like, oh, that's exactly, I should have been doing this more. I've felt
Yeah.
that way several times where I'm like, I should be connecting with more people. So
Yeah.
it's actually part of the reason why I was like, maybe we should do this. That was so damn fun doing Cigar Talk. And Matt just jumped on, and what Eric jumped on, Eric Richardson, and then we talked. And I was like, that was fun.
Yeah.
And we got to talk business and talk, and then it was, yeah. And anyways, the point is people crave this kind of stuff, but events even better. Like, this is fun, but I definitely would rather sit in the room with you guys and talk and do different things together. But hey, at least Earl gets to go home to his beautiful wife April, so he doesn't have to be at the event too much. At least Matt, who he never talks about his girlfriend. You still have a girlfriend, don't you, Matt?
Yeah. I'm pretty low key with that stuff.
That's good. I'll keep it low key.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, at least you get to, these types of things help us still to be with our families too. So I do appreciate different platforms. It's fun.
Yeah, the flexibility for sure.
Yep.
Speaking
And the
of
reach.
meeting people and learning how to do things yourself, I've never been on a blitz this big with a company that has it dialed in as much as this company.
Yeah, Glide. Is that who you're speaking?
What company is it?
Glide.
Glide. Cool.
Super cool to see like this level of leadership in the solar industry, but also like people come from all different states, different companies we all come together and everybody's learning from each other. So every single day, everybody's getting better. At least the ones that are open to learning, they're getting better because they're just asking everybody, hey, what did you do today? What worked today for you? And it's this constant networking and talking when we're not knocking, in the mornings before meetings, at the evening after door knocking, because we all come back to the same place. And then it's just constant learning. So for 14 days, not only is it knocking nonstop and closing tons of deals, but outside of that, it's this constant learning, connecting, networking, stuff you don't get back at home. Because I was talking to somebody today, and I was like, at your regular company, how many times do you really train for doors or in-home presentations? It's like once or twice a week, right? Here, every morning. And then at the end of the day, what happens back home? You go home to your house, right? Here, we come back, we review what happened during the day, why it happened, and then we learn from it, right? So it's a really intense learning program where you get to implement things immediately versus you go home and then you gotta go try to implement it yourself. You're here, you can implement it with the leaders. If it doesn't work, go back to the leaders. They give you the corrections. But it's cool because some people they bageled yesterday, they didn't get anything. While I got 4 appointments with only 7 conversations, and they're like, what did you do? Give them 3 tips, and then today they set 1 appointment, right? And I think that's super cool. I've never experienced this type of blitz before, but it's cool when it's done right.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Plan, do, review.
Tell Melissa,
Plan, do, review.
tell Melissa we say good job. Good. That's fun. Yeah, it's not easy to put the energy in behind leading that and being involved, let alone being involved in it. It's just as much energy, but it's a different thing when it's on your shoulders to train it and then show up twice a day and encourage people to not quit. It's okay. It's okay. It's a lot of stuff. Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of what Tony Robbins. I've been to a couple of his events, and it was the first time I've heard somebody talk so passionately about immersion. Right? I'm sure he has several reasons to talk about that. One is he's got to sell tickets, so come in and be immersed. But hopefully the main reason is because, and I agree, is what you're saying is when you're immersed in it, you actually do learn and change in those moments. You're not just thinking of changing soon, change now.
Right.
So, let's use a better word. You're growing now. You're actually improving now, and not like I'm going to improve when I get home. That's a good note. Again, I actually been to several conferences where I am going to improve when I get home, and I do. So there's nothing wrong with that. But man, immersion is like you accelerate your learning curve really fast.
Yeah. Sink or swim. A lot of them is like sink or swim. If you sank today, let's work on it. And like when you have metrics to hit, and when there's like minimums in order to continue to come to blitzes out here, like they make it to where it's like, man, I don't want to fail my team and whatnot, but also I know there's so many leaders out here that can actually help me. Like that's super cool.
Yeah. Cool. That's cool. Yep. I don't know if a pastor would have anything with any experience with that kind of thing where he's trying to help people grow and change.
I was trying not to go into the immersion talk there about being baptized. You're really thrown into it, right?
Yeah. You are. Well, dude, that's the whole purpose of that symbolism, I think, in baptism. Without getting religious, guys, without getting weird, but like literally think about that. Like you're committing with an action. Like it's not just talking about it. You're like, I'm in it. So it's pretty cool.
What's interesting about what Earl's doing is, it's a daily thing. You can just completely speed up the learning and adoption curve, for salespeople and knockers and setters. And, if you're doing it every day versus once or twice a week, you're just shortening that cycle down so much. And that's really important for those people. I've never done a blitz. I've never knocked doors, but I've hired canvas managers who have done that at different companies. But the turnover rate's just so high. So anytime you can shorten that learning gap and show people success, it's just better for everybody.
Yeah. I'm with you, Tom. I've never actually knocked doors. So sometimes I'm like, I can speak to it from an angle, but not from experience. I've never knocked doors for solar. I've knocked doors for Jesus. That's always what I said.
Actually, the truth is I actually did go out as a favor to my canvas manager once for like an hour and a half, but that doesn't really count.
That doesn't count. But you did get the feel.
I got 3 leads in like an hour and a half, and after I said, "What's so hard about this, guys?" And they were like, "Okay, go back to the office. You don't know what you're doing."
Yeah. What's the issue? Yeah, that's fun. Probably because you were generally a nice guy on the doors.
Well, I had the new guy luck, dumb enough to not know.
You ever read the book The Alchemist? You guys read that?
I love that book.
No, that's actually on my list.
It's a really good book.
It's good in an audio because it has all the characters have their own like little voice.
Yeah. And he talks about, that's the way I read it first too, is audio, and I've read it afterwards. And it's a short book, relatively speaking.
Yeah, it's super short.
And it's all a parable, if you will. It's a story.
Man, I wish there were more books like that.
Yeah, there's some good ones. By the way, Raving Fans, marketing wise, that's a storybook, a parable book. That's a good one, and that's short. Yeah. So read that one. You'll like that one.
It's called Raving Fans.
Yes, it's called Raving Fans. But
is that
the Alchemist talks about. He literally goes into the beginner's luck, and he calls it. We lost Earl. Did he say goodbye?
I think we just lost him, maybe.
Anyways, it talks about beginner's luck, so you can go read that. But it's kind of cool how he introduces it, and because we read in books, you guys have read it, and you see quotes all over social media. How the universe conspires to help you when you first go after something, and it's like, why doesn't it keep conspiring?
Yeah.
I know why. I'm just trying to say that'd be nice if it just kept conspiring constantly instead of beginner's luck.
Right.
Yeah. But it's kind of a funny thing. But it's a
to tell you you're on the right track. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And you got to take it from there.
Okay, we have Sunshine Day Dreamer. I can see in the back coming on stage. He's eating a bowl of cereal. I'm just joking. I don't know if it's a bowl of cereal.
What's
up?
happening? Got some Rasta pasta.
That's right.
The red, gold, and green. I just saw you guys were hanging out. I just got done my last call of the day. We signed up 2 houses.
Boom.
And hopefully a big farm today. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Badass.
Good for you. Introduce yourself for everybody here, but live as well. Say hi.
Hello, my name is Steve. I'm Sunshine Daydream Solar LLC. You can call me Ziggy Stardust. I identify, my pronouns are intergalactic, shape-shifting, cosmic being of light, and I come here to bring the sunshine to the humans.
There we go.
Sounds about right.
What kind of cigars you smoking on over there?
I'm over on one of these. I think this is how you say it. Oliva, Oliva. These are my favorite ones. Series 5. I keep ordering these ones.
I just got some from Nicaragua.
Is there any difference on the Cubans? Is it worth the hype or is it marketing? Speaking of marketing,
Mostly marketing.
Yeah,
But
probably.
I would say they're a little like they're your better ones, but it's not anything. You wouldn't notice the difference between that and a good quality cigar from somewhere else too. It's just the quality is. There are qualities of cigars, but Cuban cigars aren't their highest one isn't necessarily better than the other highest one. You know what I mean? Just because they're in Cuba, but they definitely have the elite brand feel at this point. There's no taking that away from them. So
the brand cachet. Did you ever see Buena Vista Social Club?
No. What's that?
It's an awesome movie. It's this guy, this dude, Ry Cooter, a musician. He goes down to Cuba back before you could get in there and meets all these old, like 70, 80-year-old musicians.
Uh-huh.
And hangs out with them and gets like a band put back together and they go tour. It's really great music.
Steve, where do you live? I forget. I asked probably twice now, but I forget.
Yeah, I live on planet Earth.
Yeah, it's on the universe.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What state do you live in? You don't have to be specific.
I have an underground ocean base that I hang out with Elon, but I moved out because Elon's pissing me off. He went to the dark side, but I'm in Jersey, scenic New Jersey.
Good. For everyone here, if you want to piss off Steve, or actually make him happy and talk fun on social media and rant, just talk about politics is fantastic.
I'm unplugging. I'm taking the needle out of my arm. I can't. I'm unhooking. I'm unsubscribed. The news is turned off. Hopefully things just roll along, and hopefully most people are cool and decent, and
yeah.
Hopefully the status quo. But yeah, I'm easy to ignite to rant, but it's stupid and it's a waste of time.
Dude, I loved your comments when I'm like, are you okay, Steve? When you comment on something that I said, I shared the anyways, it doesn't matter, but it was just kind of funny because I always am like, I can see your tone of voice now that I've talked to you a couple of times via video chat or whatever. I can see your tone of voice. It's like undertones in there.
Yeah, I think a lot gets missed, like with text and stuff, right? It's so much better to like talk to people where it's like half the time I'm being semi-facetious.
Sure.
But if not, it could be like, dude, this guy's a real asshole. What's wrong with him? I mean, there's probably an element of that too, but most of the time.
Yeah, but I know that you don't take life serious enough. Now that I've gotten to know you enough, which is why I like at least what I've learned to like about you, Steve, is you don't take life too serious, which is one of my values, I guess. I don't like taking life too serious because at any moment it's going to end, and so I'm not going to be a dumbass as on my way out, or a jerk about something. So, but yeah, it's good to have you here, brother. So you out get closing deals. How can we help you? What's going on in your world?
Yeah, keep it fun and keep it light and good vibes. Well, the CRMX came through, man. I I blasted probably once you told me that instruction on how to set up the whatever verified account and check things before pending. Dude, I pinged out like 20,000 emails and like people replied, people called me. Like it was shocking. It blew my mind.
Email is dead, everyone. Email does not work.
I had farmers pick up the phone and call me. Yeah. They're like, yeah, I was calling about that email. Are you guys still have? And I was like, I was freaking mind blown because, maybe residential, it doesn't happen as much, or
it doesn't as much, but it still happens, by the way. It just doesn't happen as much. That's cool. Good for you, dude. I'm glad. Yeah. Anytime you can, these conversations, have you guys noticed this, Steve? Bear with me if you're going somewhere with this. I just noticed this every time. I don't know why I don't keep doing it. But that's my dumb part of me that always comes out. In other words, why don't I just repeat this? What I'm about to say is anytime I just stay more actively engaged and promote good content, share more good stuff, and run promotions, I actually don't sell the promotion that much, just so you know. So I just did a promotion. I don't sell that thing. What happens is more people reach out to me about something else they know I do. So in other words, they're just like, oh, thanks for the reminder. I don't want that, but I do want this. And so it's like, I'm like, why do I not stay? I get in these like little lulls where I don't do as much. And I don't mean stay in front of you all the time, but I mean like engage, do different things, try different things. And of course, as soon as I start it, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have stopped. But business always does better if you're out sending out emails, engaging with people, posting, doing great content. As long as you get it in front of people, not a lot, just a handful of people. You don't have to have a big list, but it just works.
Do you have anyone on CRMX, or have you done one where it's specific to recruiting?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, my cigar's out. It's so cold. Where's that lighter, dude? Yeah, for sure. So recruiting, we've built some custom ones for that. What do you mean? So recruiting sales reps, right?
Well, yeah, to give you an example, yeah, pretty much. I got a buddy in the life insurance world, and it's kind of crazy how that works. It kind of pisses me off, but the whole goal for those guys is just to get people underneath on the team, MLM style. So I was talking to him about about CRMX and how I use it, and he was telling me that they got proprietary software specific to the life insurance agency, but
sure,
it's not it doesn't do follow-up stuff. If he, for instance, if he talks to somebody at a restaurant and gets the kid interested in coming in, and the kid comes in, but he falls off after a few days.
Right.
It's kind of system for him to continue following up with people that he's engaged with in the past.
Yeah.
And he was interested at looking into the CRMX stuff. So.
Yeah. But recruiting, recruiting's the same thing. So every time you're selling anything, it's the same process, especially with appointments. Right. Recruiting involves generating interest, just clicking interest. I just kind of and then it flows over to an appointment, and then you have a discussion, and then you have no shows, and then you have to reschedule, and then you have the flow is always the same. And so the follow-up stays the same. That's why I call it the 4 phases of follow-up when it comes to appointment selling. It's always the same, no matter in what industry. Yeah. And then just a matter of not sounding like everybody else when you do it. That's really it. You don't sound like everyone else, and then you will actually stand out. So
yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Good. Speaking of good follow-up and good energy and stuff, I don't know if we actually know each other, but Tom, you always have good stuff that I see and follow, and you always have good energy and educating people. So thanks. I wish we were more connected. I guess we're 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon through Rick, who I really love Rick's. I vibe with the hippie energy with Rick.
Yeah, definitely. No, actually,
Rick V.
I use Facebook a lot. I started in like 2007. At the end of October, Meta actually disabled Facebook and Instagram and wouldn't let me back on. So my Facebook account is like a month old. So I had to restart.
Dude, I did that a year ago. I
That's
got kicked out and I couldn't re-verify it because it wouldn't let me. And then I did all the try to recover things. Everyone gave me all their tips and stuff. I was like, nope, not happening.
Yep, same thing. Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, I you know, a lot of the solar groups I was a moderator on. I had my own groups. I was in like 800 groups on Facebook. I can't even get into some of my own groups that I was the only admin on, you know?
Oh,
Yep.
dang.
That sucks.
But it's super I mean, I've sold millions of dollars in home solar from my Facebook profile with no ads, and it's always fascinating to me what people engage with and what clicks with them that actually gets them to start a conversation. Right? Most of the time, well, very rarely is it ever me, asking somebody, "Hey, you want to go solar?" It's if it's solar related at all, it's like educational or entertaining.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's really what it's.
Edutainment, I like to call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I've
Speaking
always
of
been...
go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Speaking of Ricky Ricardo and like hippie energy, has anyone ever read? There's a really great book, Everything I Learned from Marketing and Business from the Grateful Dead, which
I haven't read that.
No.
That sounds awesome.
It seems super counterintuitive because at first they like weren't at all about business, right? Like bands make an album, you tour and to sell the album, and these guys like let people tape their albums. They for free, but then it ended up being like guerrilla marketing. People would share the albums. Then they were the first to do direct to consumer ticket sales and newsletters and branding just because someone like stole their amps at Woodstock and they're like, oh, let's put a sticker on our amps. And so they ended up being one of the most profitable touring bands of all time with merchandising. And instead of going to one concert, people would go to 50. Part of that is because it's probably a more psychedelic drug cult.
But still, even then, it's only it's a small part of it, it's their branding, but that's cool. I'll have to look that up. Did we lose him?
That's dope.
Steve, I think we lost you, man. Hello. All right. Well, when you come back, well, cool. We'll do the 15-minute warning that we're gonna wrap up here soon. Ruby was on here. Ruby, if you're still on here, you listen to the recording later. I'm sorry I didn't see this comment on here. As of now, I feel this was after. Remember, guys, back on our.
Oh yeah.
This right here, burnout, sustainable, and I feel balance is an illusion, but we still need to chase it, just like the good life and being integral people, integrous people. Ruby speaks.
I think if you look at the people in business that have more of that kind of freedom, in their lifestyle, most of them, their income, is not only dependent upon their own actions, right?
What do you
if they have a business, if they have a business, they're not the only salesperson.
Oh,
right?
Okay. Yep.
If they have income, maybe they have multiple streams of income from different assets that they've invested in, right?
Sure.
So I think that if you're in sales and your income is only dependent upon your own sales, that can be, stressful and challenging at times.
Yeah, you're going to go through stages of it. Hopefully, just a couple rounds, but meaning like you're going to start like that and then grow and figure out how to leverage. And your next problem becomes, how do you leverage? Like, what do you mean hire people and train people? Or you mean I need a coach on telling me how to do that? Or I need a system on how you there's all these things you have to do, but I get what you're talking about. It's stages. Yep. A good book. My brother, I have a bunch of younger siblings. I'm the third of 9 kids, and 2 of my brothers, I've worked in business with them. And the younger ones. Bennett was my business partner in solar, and then our youngest brother in the family. Bennett's 13 years younger than me, and then we have another youngest brother, Bailey. Yes, it's not a girl name. It says we make fun of him for that. And so the Bailey, he's super, and he's a really smart dude. I mean, he's 20. I don't know how old Bailey is anymore. 26, 24, 25 maybe. Anyways, so he's pretty young, and I'm 44, and he texted me last night, and he's asking, what are the marketing books that you were reading? Which ones are your top ones that you would recommend? And the one that I always say is Ready, Fire, Aim is my number one book. If anyone's trying to learn, and it's not going to be too much marketing speak, but it's still pretty deep. It's deep enough. It's into some pretty, he breaks it down into stages of business growth, of how to go from 0 to 100 million in no time flat is his sub headline for the book, Ready, Fire, Aim. And he goes through how businesses go through each stage of business. And he's talking about, at first you're wearing all the hats, and then you're trying to grow, and then you get to a certain stage where it's hard to grow past your core people that you originally hired, because they do their own thing, and they operate really well. But if you try to go beyond them, it hurts, because now they don't know how to work with a larger team either. So it goes from you to them, and then it's hard to go from them to multiple people, and then from there you have to get kicked out of your own business onto the board, or else you're going to screw up your business. So like there's weird stages. So it usually, in other words, it's out of our own stubbornness that we get in our own way when we're actually growing, that is. And so it's kind of interesting in a business. Like, you don't want to give those things up, and if you do, you sabotage them sometimes. So it's kind of interesting to watch, but it's the only way to grow. It's the only way to grow is to give up control and let people do what they're good at, and make mistakes along the way, because you're going to hire the wrong people thinking they're the golden goose that's going to save you, and then boom, wrong person.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
been there, done that. Go with your gut. Go with your gut.
Yeah, go with your gut, and then also, if you did make the mistake, go with your gut to fire quickly. Don't hold on. Do not hold on, dude. We had that happen at Switch to Solar, our dealership in San Diego, and we had a guy that we hired, and he seemed so good. He's business background, entrepreneur, and he's really like it was the perfect match, and personality seemed good, but something felt off, a little bit off. Not horrible, just a little bit off. And I was like, I don't know if that's just me being like, maybe I'm trying to step in the way, like of this. Maybe I don't want to give that up, which it wasn't, because I'm so like past that ego part. I still have a great ego of stupidity, but I mean, like that part, I'm happy to give up. I don't want to lead the company. I'd rather sit and go do other things, take care of my health.
Yeah.
And so like we thought we had it good, and sure enough, the dude was off taking trips down to TJ and getting stuck there on the weekends with hookers and blow, and doesn't look like this person at all, by the way. Totally presents a different image. And ends up like staying over at the offices that we were renting out. He would sleep there sometimes, and we wondered why. We were like, why haven't we met your wife, dude? Because he talked about his wife and kid, and it was just a whole different world he was living. He just portrayed his old life, and he was living another one. Dude, it was not a good thing. I felt bad, but at the same time, I'm like, ultimately I feel bad. But during the moments, I'm like, dude, that's your own damn fault. Why are you mad at me? Your ass is fired for sure. Like what are we even waiting for? Get out now. Like just go away. Don't say any excuses. Your ass is fired. And so like it was just weird that he thought that was okay. And I get why. He's probably having a hard time. Lots of weird things, but still, I don't think it's any excuse to be a dickhead.
You could probably find work in the donkey shows.
Yeah. See what I mean, Tom? I'm a little bit blunt, man. Welcome to the show.
That can be an expensive lesson for some of us to learn. So that cost me about $250,000 to the P&L for our company of not firing soon enough.
Yep. Yeah, I've done that in the past, by the way, Tom. And so when that happened again, where I didn't fire soon enough, And so this happened. Like, you're done. Sorry, called him up that day. You're out. Like, we're done. It's not even no discussion. Go file whatever you need to file. We're out. Like, I have yeah. I mean, I did it the right way, so we're not going to get sued. But still, that was the gist of it. It was just crazy, and we saved. Guess what? By the way, we grew like immediately. As soon as we got rid of them, we're like, we grew immediately. By the way, Jake Hess, we hired Jake at the beginning to consult our company. This is when I first met Jake, and we hired this guy, and this guy was trying to get Jake Hess fired as the consultant. And Jake was like, dude, I don't know. He's trying to be nice about it. He's like, I'm not sure about this guy, but I don't think he's here to help you guys. He was trying to be nice. He didn't want to say what he was seeing. And so afterwards, I was like, I should have listened to you a little faster, because it was about a month later that I found that out. Does that make sense? So once we found out, he was gone, but it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Fun stories. We all have some version of that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other comments in the ethers of the internet? Anyone watching that want to say hi or jump on, just say hi. We're about to end for tonight. If you guys want to jump on, we're just bantering. As you can see, we talk about anything. Jump in here. There is a link in the comments. I guess I could post it one more time. I'm only posting it right now, not so we can have a whole new discussion, but so you can introduce yourself and say what's up. If you haven't been on here, I especially encourage you to. It's that link is right here. I know you'd have to type that in, but what I'm showing you on screen is it's in the comments. Okay, so click on that link in the comments and you come on stage. Stage is the cameras here, and so have an audio, have a camera.
Should we all climb into bed before you end?
Yes,
I'm getting comfortable here. I got the dog sitting there.
Hell, dude, look at this. So Steve literally looks like the trucker that you see in the gas station right now with the head thing that comes in, and we're gonna go to bed. He goes to bed with it on even.
Dude, I love the one ear thing. Does anyone have? Because I want to be able to hear myself, because I'm on this thing 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Is there any like the like super sick, like the Bose and the Apple? They're all really good for music, but none of them seem to have a microphone like the super high end ones.
Yeah,
like,
they don't.
I would love like a Pilot one, with with one ear with a headset. Like the trucker one is the best thing I found. I can't see anything in my ear.
Well, with how you came into the meeting, why don't you have like an astronaut helmet? That you just wear that all day.
Like Daft Punk or something?
Yeah.
Exactly like Daft Punk. Maybe you need a visor, that can go up, because you want to make eye contact with people if you're on camera with them too. That's kind of important for rapport.
It's kind of important. That's funny.
Roll to Major Tom.
Dude, I love that you have a good mic though, because we can hear you super clearly. But yeah, real quick, I want to address something somebody just said in the comments, because I don't know if this is what Matthew Hansen is saying. I caught the tail end of that story. If you heard me and it sounded like I was saying Jake is not trustworthy, that is not what I was saying in the story, just so you know. Jake was the one warning me about a trustworthy person.
Yeah.
Just you guys, if you heard that right. I don't know if that's what your comment is, what you caught, but Matthew, that's what we were talking about. Jake,
Jake is a solid dude.
Yeah, he's a solid dude. Awesome. Yeah. What was that, Steve?
To be clear, he was not in a Tijuana donkey show.
Also, to be clear, he may have been in one at one point. We just don't know.
Yeah.
That's for you, Jake, if you listen to this later.
And how did you guys all get connected? Because Jake's another guy that I know of peripherally and always is like sharing a lot of good info and stuff. Never met. How did you guys all link up? Are you guys all in? Tom, are you in Utah as well with Brent and all those guys?
I'm actually in Kansas City, so most of my solar career has been in California, but we moved a couple years ago. But I met Jake through social media, and then in person the first time at SolarCon.
I'm in Florida, but I'm from Utah, Steve. That's probably where you're thinking. I'm in Utah.
Okay.
I'm from Utah. But yeah, I live in North Florida, like Florida, Bama. That's why it's cold still. North Florida Panhandle, Central Time. My favorite comment of the night. That feeds me well. That feeds me well. That does not help my wife in her comments about me, though. So, see, I'm going to stack these up and take screenshots.
There you go. Fire pop.
See, honey? People think I'm a stud. See that? Like my teenager sitting right across from me right now. See? People think I'm a stud. Do you see that? It says Brent's a stud in the comments.
You ever get the sometimes from the better half of the better half sometimes will be like, well, that's enough of that story, or do you have to talk to that stranger at Starbucks and the restaurant, and I'm like, there's a lot of things I suck at, but we're sitting at a 5-star resort in Bermuda on a Tuesday because I talk to fucking strangers. Like, what I mean? Like, I know I'm extra. I know I talk way too much, but like, closed mouths don't get fed in this
right.
world. Okay?
Right.
I'm not an accountant or an engineer over here.
See, my wife Christy's thing is I'll invite her to go someplace. I'm like, hey, you want to go to London with me? We travel a lot, and her first question is there a meeting or a conference?
Why do you ask? Why would you say
it's a write-off, Jerry? It's a write-off.
Yep.
Where are you going to next? You guys are always going somewhere. Have you been to Portugal, the islands? That seems like a new up and coming or an ancient spot. It seems pretty cool. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, we were supposed to be in Portugal last month or in October, but there was a big storm, and so we stayed in Malta instead.
Is that an island like in the Mediterranean?
Yeah, Malta's between Tunisia, Africa, and Sicily.
Oh, wow.
So that was one of my goals, was because I'm 100% remote in my business, for the last 4 years. And so that was my goal, is to sell a project in every European country that we visited.
Nice.
Just for myself.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I think, did you talk to Earl about that? Didn't they go? Wasn't Earl in Portugal?
Yeah, Earl's been there. He almost moved there at one point to Portugal. So,
Yeah, just like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, they were in Portugal. I feel like it was then.
Yeah. They were there recently. Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. I've never been over there. The closest I've been is to when we went on a business trip, and it was wow. What's the island in Italy?
Sardinia.
Yeah, Sardinia. Yeah.
That's where my girl's from, so that's the only reason I know.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we were.
I'm actually supposed to be on a flight right now to London if I had actually taken action earlier today. So there was a business class flight from Kansas City to London for $19.
What?
And like 50,000 points. It's lay flat business. And I was in a training and it popped up on my screen, and I was like, oh, I'll wait until after it's done to click, buy.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards it was gone. I was like, well, I guess I was going to go to London and then take another flight on points to Reykjavik to see the band Cigar Ross. It's going to be there the 9th and 10th.
If you are the master with like points and travel hacks. I think that's one of the things when I was first following on you. There's a great hack. There's this airline called Flyplay that goes to Iceland, and they're only in certain areas. There's like one in New York, one in DC, maybe Baltimore, but you can literally get like $200 and $300 round trip flights to Europe. And the only catch is they stop in Iceland, and you can do like a free layover. I don't know why they're so cheap. I guess maybe they're a freight airline and people are icing on the cake, but check out
Play is good. Iceland Air has some deals too. Most of the time I'm just flying on points though, and I don't think Play does a lot of points.
Dude, Tom, I went on my Mormon mission to Kansas City. Do you know that?
Oh, really?
I was there for 2 years. Olathe, Overland Park, Kansas City.
Well, we live just south of Olathe, but I tell people Kansas City because nobody knows where Olathe is.
That's the greater Kansas City area. Like,
Yeah.
We were in when we had our business, our solar company in San Diego area. It was San Marcos, but who know who do you say San Diego? So yeah. But yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I was there for 2 years, dude. Riding bikes in suits and sweat my balls off. That's what I was doing.
I believe it. Yeah. Yeah, we moved from Clovis, California, so right next to Fresno.
Oh yeah.
So I grew up in Napa Valley and then went to Bible college in Joplin, Missouri, and met my wife, Christy. She's from just a little town north of Joplin, Lamar.
Okay.
And so we came back here just to be closer to her family for a while, because for the last 28 years, 27 years, we've been in California, close to my family in Napa.
Yeah, yeah. How old are you? 40 what?
52.
52.
No,
I really was. I wasn't even trying to compliment you, by the way. I was really thinking 40 something. Good for you, man. Well,
I was a youth pastor for a while when I first started working in churches, and so I ate a lot of pizza. So there's a lot of preservatives in pizza, I think.
I like how you're playing that down.
Well, you take a bunch of vitamins. What's some good stuff for like focus? Like I've been doing lion's mane. I want something that's like Adderall and Limitless, but that's not meth.
Oh boy, how much time do we have? So I ordered, you've seen Limitless. So I used to order modafinil from India, paying with Bitcoin.
Me too, dude. I used to use modafinil all the time, man. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I paid for it in Bitcoin. It kills me now. Yeah, now I got a little Bitcoin miner sitting on my desk right here.
What the hell?
It's a micro Bitcoin
that's a micro miner thingy. I still don't understand that. Meaning, I don't understand why you have to mine something digital, but whatever. No, I think it's the language that throws me off.
It just solves it.
Yeah,
That's a whole other terms.
Yeah.
But anyways, to get back to your question, something to think about. You know, ice baths are super popular, but if you just reduce your calorie count, you know, if you're in a calorie deficit, your body will actually lower your temperature, and you will get the benefit of an ice bath without the pain and the inconvenience of an ice bath, and that will actually help you with your focus.
Yeah.
Fasting.
Yeah.
Not necessarily fasting, but just eating fewer calories, and probably also combining those calories into a shorter eating window than most people have.
Yeah.
So I'm working on losing some weight and have been looking into a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few proven things to like extend life is less calories from like bacteria to moths, and because maybe it's just less digestion going on. And my phone like spazzed out when you started saying how much time do you have. What are some of your favorite supplements besides like a lion's mane or microdosing? What's some other good?
I'm actually not doing any mushrooms, or like I'm not doing lion's mane, or I've never microdosed anything. But I think Brian Johnson is somebody to look at with his longevity mix. And every morning I take his longevity mix and 2.5 grams of creatine, because the longevity mix already has 2.5 in it, and inulin and GOS. And that's the first thing that I drink in the morning. And then I take some supplements after that.
Yeah, and I just put in the comments. I just put in the comments, Steve, modafinil. If you missed that part, modafinil is the closest I found for like the limitless pill.
Yeah. I stopped taking modafinil just because I didn't. It's worked
not
really good. I could be super focused, incredibly focused on Netflix. Because it doesn't make you focused on the right things necessarily. You could be focused on anything still.
I've seen it work across the board, Steve, and I don't take it anymore either. Just because it's not highly dangerous to take. No one's ever like overdosed on it or anything like that that we have record of or anything. It's not like that, but it can give you headaches, bloody noses, things like that. But it's something like if you're taking it normal, you're not going to get anything major. I'm just trying to say it's not exactly like you feel amazing health wise, but brain and it doesn't make you feel, I don't think, worse health wise, not necessarily, but man, you focus like it's a you dial in the a story behind that. My brother, he asked me about this, and I was in the time I was taking it. I take it like every other day, or like when I just needed to sit down and just get a whole day's worth of stuff done. I was like, pop a modafinil, wait for a minute, and let's rock and roll. So like, and I told Bennett, my brother, about this. This is later, and he gave it to his wife because his wife was saying, she's very chill, laid back. She's from Chihuahua, Mexico. Just chilled, Latina, like she's like very just whatever, and never worried about the house being too organized, but not messy. She's just very like that. You know what I'm talking about? That personality. And they have kids, and she's happy, but she's like, I just feel like I need to focus better. So he's like, here, try this, and she takes it. And he leaves, and he had to go to the airport or something, and then or drop somebody off, I forget. He comes back, and the house is spotless, like spotless. And he asked her, and I was laughing so hard because she was standing right here when he's telling me the story, and she starts giggling, to herself when he's telling it. And he asked her, so did it work? And did you feel focused? She's all, not really. I haven't really noticed a difference. And she didn't. Honestly, she didn't know that's why everything. He's all, I've never seen her clean under the sink. Like he opened the thing, he like opened the cabinet, said it's all perfectly organized. Like everything's in its spot. So it does that to your brain to give you an idea, like everything, and you can just crank for hours like that, just boom, 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 boom. So it's pretty good, and you don't feel, it's not a caffeine feel either. It's just your brain just is on point, I would say.
Yeah, 'cause I started maxing out on caffeine. I prefer yerba mate, and then I was doing that USDA campaign, like the thing I was using CRMX, and I blasted out all those emails, and there's like a timeline to get these applications in by the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
And so like, so someone had, what do you call Adderall that I had in high school and college. I was like against it. I'm still against it. I took like a quarter of a tiny, like what they give less than a kid. And I've been like 14 hours a day cold calling. I set up like 35 meetings of like big commercial accounts, and it's like, it's your same as yourself, but it's just unlocked, I guess, my my distractibility. But I don't want to like, I'm not into that, the concept of it. There's got to be something natural that's maybe 60% is good, 80% is good.
Yeah, if you message me, I'll share some stuff that I've taken in the past. But I think that what I have found for me is, because I've tried to get away from taking supplements for performance and tried instead to work on my energy management with movement and the type of food that I'm eating, and breath work and things like that. And that works for me. But because I just don't know that, taking a supplement for that long term is a great idea.
Right. Yeah, I would say if I was to go in the order of things, I would say, for me, this is not medical advice. You've got like, wow, what's the common one you just mentioned? Not modafinil. What's the main prescribed drug that everyone takes for their brain?
Adderall, which is absolutely criminal to give to kids.
So like you got Adderall, I'll go down low. Adderall, like you could do that. I would say modafinil's next, probably, on what I've tried. And by the way, I've just tried Adderall a little bit. I was like, oh shit, I don't need that. So the modafinil, I would say, is next, but totally different things. They're not like parallel. They're just a different. But I would say modafinil feels better, and you're not feeling crazy and addicted to it. You can go off of modafinil like quickly. You're just done. You're just like, oh, okay,
That's
I'm done.
for people like narcolepsy or something.
Yeah, it was invented for that, for people to do night shift. Had night shift syndrome, I think is what they called it. Yeah, that.
I mean, Brent, I actually went so far as to taking a genetic test to show my doctor that I had the genome that was receptive to modafinil, that I took into him to get a prescription so I wouldn't have to order it from India.
Did you get it?
Yeah. No,
From
he
the
still
doctor?
wouldn't order it. He's like, you don't have narcolepsy. Like, okay, I'm going to
My doctor.
I
My
finally was
doctor
like, okay,
my
this is
doctor
like,
actually prescribed it, dude. He prescribed it. Not he just said, okay, sure, you can try some. I mean, and the reason why, Tom, is he took it in college.
okay, yeah.
So he's like, yeah, it helps. It does help you study through the night and do different things. That's easier. Anyways, the point is I would say that, and then caffeine is on the side over here. It doesn't like go in an order. I'd say caffeine's just like your go-to if you want to like hurry kick in. And then after that, it's just get sleep and freaking meditate and do all the little natural things daily. It sucks though, because that means you have to have discipline.
Yeah, you can't beat the old-fashioned.
I don't mean it.
The other thing too is sleep is incredibly important, and I've been working on that. You know, I've got an Aura ring, and you know, some of you guys may know Jonathan Bernasso and or Jarrett McAllister and some of the other Rick Joseph and others. So we've got a circle on the Aura Ring app so we can see each other's sleep scores every night, and so we compete. We compete. We're salespeople, so we compete on sleep.
Yeah,
who can relax the best?
you know, Jonathan's over there putting it on some kind of like fake hand that stays relaxed the whole time through the night. I win. I'm just playing. But yeah, Jonathan seems like a good dude. I've just met him a few times.
He's a good guy. I told him, I said, you know, I mentioned Brian Johnson. If any of you follow him, you noticed, or you may know that one of the things that he's shared is, and this is a good topic to end on, is his number of nighttime erections. So he doesn't just measure his sleep, he measures his nighttime erections because that's a measure of health for a man.
Yeah.
So I've told a bunch of people, I said, you know, I'm 52. You want to compete? You know, we could get another device and compete on a different level if you really want to.
Oh, dude, my brain went in so many different directions with types of trophies and shapes of trophies and stuff like that. But yeah, okay, cool.
Oh shit.
You know how you have like the ClickFunnels things behind you? The award.
The
you imagine Tom has some like gold thing. You're looking at it. You're like, what did you win?
Yeah.
I have the most nighttime erections. Thank you very much. Yeah, good for you. No, that is funny. Only guys. But yeah, we got to compete. We got to have fun. Well, good guys. Hey, it's been fun being with everybody. Tom, thank you for being on here.
Thanks for letting me come on. This was fun.
Yeah. And Steve, good to see you again, man.
Yeah. As always, I'll
keep supporting the head.
And yeah, Tom, I'll love to connect with you and learn a little bit more what you're up to.
Sounds good.
And Matt, where are you? I'm sorry, where are you?
I'm in San Diego, California.
Keep it classy, Santiago.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a really good night. Have a fun weekend, and we'll catch you next time, probably in a couple weeks. All right.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Brent.
Okay.
Later.
Later. See you guys.